Quiz number 9 will be on area between two curves. That is the topic from 2.1. This is quite simple, okay? So please make sure that you get this right. The only thing that you have to do is, well, solving an equation. Let's see, let's look at it. So here's the, I'm going to give you only one review, and something very similar you're going to get. So find, I'll write the question, find the area of the region bounded by the following two curves. Y equals x to the fourth, where is it, minus 3x squared plus 4x, and y equals minus x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x. Okay, you could try to graph this, but I warn you, this is sometimes not so easy, because to see things, what happens exactly is needs the correct zooming in at the correct place. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve the problem algebraically. And so the first thing we need to do, step 1, is we need to find the intersection points. Okay, so let's look what is intersection points. That is, we get this by equaling the two equations and then solving. Now that's the part that actually is not easy, I should warn you. In general, solving equations is a difficult issue, but I always make sure that you get something that is not too hard to solve. Okay, so bring everything on the same side. Do I have to explain this? Okay, I'll do it very quickly, right? So we do here plus x cubed, we do here minus 3x squared, so minus 3x squared, and here minus 4x, so minus 4x. So we get here x to the fourth plus x cubed. We have a minus 3x squared, so like terms is minus 6x squared, and the 4x is cancelled. So we have to, this is equal to 0. We have to factor this. Yeah, well, the first thing we see is that it's x squared we can factor. So x squared, and then we have x squared plus x minus 6. And that is also not hard to factor, because two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to 1, so that is plus 3, negative 2. Right? Okay. Okay, so this tells us the three intersection points are x equals 0. Don't forget this one, right? X squared seems like, okay, I just scratch it out, but no, it's a factor, so it can become 0. And so we get these 3 points. Step 2. So this is a curve, these two curves intersect each other 3 times. So they might cross over or not, we don't know. That's why we make the table. So in the table, very important is that these 3 points have to be put in order. Minus 3, 0, and 2. Okay? And then we have our two curves here, the two equations, x to the fourth minus 3x squared plus 4x, and minus x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x. And we know that the way that we have, that these curves can, between on each of these intervals, we have these two intervals here. These two curves, one curve is above the other one. It's just a matter of which one is what. They never cross there, because crossing means exactly that they're one of these points here. Okay. All right. So, so we have to take. How do you do that? We take test points. That are arbitrary points that we choose somewhere in between. In the two intervals. So I'm going to take -1 for this interval and 1 there. Obvious choices, right? Okay, so let's plug this in. You can, this plugging in, you can do with a calculator if you feel not confident about it, but these are easy numbers here. That is -1 to the fourth, that is 1. And -1 squared, that is also 1. So minus 3, minus 4. So we get here minus 1 minus 7, that's minus 6, right? Okay, what is the other one? We get -1 cubed, which is minus 1, so this is 1, plus 3 minus 4, so this is 0. Now this is the bigger one, right? Because 0 is bigger than -6. So this is the top curve on the first interval. Sorry, I got a little bit of the space here. So let's look at the other one. I get 4 minus 3 plus 4, that is 8, that is 5. And then in the other curve, I get -1 plus 3 plus 4, that is 7 minus 1 is 6. this again on top. This is possible. It doesn't mean that you have to really cross over. So we have something like one curve does this and the other curve is like touching it, but then doesn't cross it. Okay, things like that might happen. Okay, the table cannot lie. Okay, so we know now what we have to do. We have these two intervals. Over each of these intervals we integrate, and we take the top one minus the bottom one. So we do minus x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x, and we subtract the bottom one. That's the formula. Okay, and we do the same for the second interval. So that is plus from 0 to 2, and that's also why everything is in order, right? So the endpoints are already listed in increasing order. And so we do the same thing. It happens to be the same function. So we could have combined it, but just for explaining things, and it doesn't always, you cannot always combine, so I don't want to give you the wrong impression that you can combine. I'm just going to work it out. It's twice the same thing. So once I've done the top one, I know what the bottom one is too. So, okay. So normally we do this, but otherwise it gets really too much writing. So now I'm saying, oh, but this is the same as that. In general, it's not, right? I mean, if it's the other way around, then you cannot combine. So here I can combine, and that means from minus 3 to 0, from 0 to 2, so the whole thing is from minus 3 to 2. And what we have a minus x cubed, we have a minus 3x squared, and then plus 3x squared. Sorry. I should look at... sorry, was right. 3x minus 3x squared, 3x squared minus 3x squared, so get plus 6x squared. We get a 4x minus a 4x, so that is 0. We have a negative x to the fourth. And that's it. Yeah, I did a bit weird way, but this is what it is. Okay. And you can always see this should be the same thing up to a sign. And this is exactly the same thing up to a sign, right? Yeah, okay. And now we have to integrate this. I should have written it in increasing order. I didn't, but okay. Okay, let me write it in increasing order. Makes it a little bit more clear what I'm doing, I guess. Okay, so from minus 3 to 2. So this is now minus x to the fifth over 5 minus x to the fourth over 4 plus 6x squared over 3. And that's between negative 3 and 2. And then you just have to plug in the numbers. So minus 2 to the fifth is 32. Minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. Plus the 6 and the 3 cancel, so we have actually 2 here. So that's 8. Minus, now we plug in negative 3. Now negative 3 to the power 5, that is 243. 81 times 3. It's 81 times 3, that's 324, yeah, 324. So 324 over 5. Oh, with a negative sign because it's a negative number. Okay. Then we have 3 cubed, that is 81 over 4. And then we have 3 squared, that is plus 18. But if you just plug in the numbers, so it is enough to do this. 2 to the fifth over 5 minus 2 to the fourth over 4 plus 2 times 2 squared minus sorry. Yeah, no, it's right. It's right what I'm saying. So minus 3 to the fifth minus 3 to the fourth over 4 2 times minus 3 squared. Okay, if you do this, it's fine, but I worked it out a little bit. I don't want to simplify it. Okay, so that's it. It's very simple. Make sure that you find the correct intersection points. You can always graph things to see that the table is correct, and then you just have to subtract and you're done.